Athena, mighty Poseidon, the Earth-shaker, Zeus Artemis, with her deadly aim set to pierce even the heart of a hummingbird, painted pigs, all of them. I see you there. Come closer. This one killed 6 innocent children to satisfy her rage. They squabble, burn with jealousy, cheat, fight and murder. They're cruel, vindictive and selfish. And let the heel of Achilles, these weaknesses will be their undoing.
This is a tale of the Greek gods, and Zeus and Prometheus are the narrators of the story. Zeus has asked help from his cousin Prometheus to help stop the evil threat known as Typhon.
You chained me to this rock and fed my liver to an eagle out of love.
Prometheus tells Zeus to look for help from the mortals, but Zeus has lost all hope for mankind. But Prometheus can see into the future, and he says there is still hope for the world.
All but vanished. The mountainous peaks of the waves descended into valleys near the...
You are Fenyx, a man washed ashore from a terrible storm. You look for survivors, only to find that your crew of soldiers and your brother are all turned to stone.
You may not be your brother Ligiron, but I will make something of you yet.
Hold my shield. Try not to drop it this time.
In search of answers, you find and help rescue Hermes. Together you work out a plan to free the other 4 gods from the evil threat as known as Typhon. This won't be an easy task. You're just a mere mortal, but you have the gods on your side. You start your adventure and go to free the first god. This is a tale of a man who's never been a hero. He's always doubtful and overwhelmed. He must look deep within himself to find the courage and determination to succeed. This is also a tale about how evil and ego-driven the Greek gods actually are, and a father who is so blind to his own ego and needs to even notice that his family resents and hates him.
Real question? I don't know. It's a mystery.
The game has character customization, but you can't change the face very much. There's only 4 settings, but you do have a fair few hairstyles and colours. You can change the look of your character anytime at the Hall of Gods where you reside. Fenyx Rising is a third-person action hack-and-slash RPG. It's a melee-centric, fast-paced combat focus, with a deadly arsenal of sword, axe and bow, to your godly abilities which you learn along your adventure. You also have access to a skill tree, which helps give you endless dodging to an extra stun damage, to a grapple which you can cling to flying enemies. You can upgrade your stamina bar by collecting Zeus's lightning, collecting ambrosia to upgrade your health, and collecting crystals to strengthen your equipment overall. There are stealth attacks in the game also, where you need to crouch and slowly creep up on the back of the enemy for huge damage. You can also dodge at the perfect time, and this will slow down time for you, which is really handy. There are also a stun bar on each enemy. You can build up the stun bar with your axe attacks, which in turn actually knocks down the enemy, so you can pummel with your fast sword attacks to build up combo numbers. I like the combat in the game, but it does get a little bit repetitive due to how combos work. There aren't any combos where you can perform like other games where you might be able to hit light attack, heavy attack, light attack. All you press is 4 light attacks or 4 heavy attacks. But you do have your guided powers to work in during combat and perfect dodging, which makes it fun, but it is a little bit weaker than I'd actually prefer. There is a good variety of different enemies though, and they do keep you on your toes, especially near the end of the game. Each of the 4 zones will occasionally start having molten rocks crash into the ground, and enemies getting stronger and change the look visually from Typhon's influence. This is called Wraith Zones. A famous character inhabits each zone. The Wraith will spawn during this time and try and kill you. You can actually just run away from it if it's too hard, but to stop these events you can actually go to the Wraith's lair and kill him for good and free him from Typhon's grasp. There is a huge amount of puzzles in the game. Every part of the game there is a puzzle, and when you think you won't actually have to do another puzzle to continue, you'll actually have to do a few more. World puzzles are optional, but story puzzles are mandatory. If you want to upgrade your stamina, you need to find Zeus's lightning in the vaults scattered around the world. Majority of the upgrades are found via the different puzzles, so if you aren't really a puzzle person, this might not be for you. If you don't put the time in to complete a lot of the world puzzles, you'll actually be significantly less powerful, and to kill some of the rare enemies in the game, you'll need a big health bar to avoid getting one shot. I enjoyed some of the puzzles, some can be really interesting, but also found some of them very exhausting and just time consuming and frustrating. There is a ton of optional objectives you can do in the game. You do speed runs for Hermes to earn Charon coins, a vital currency for skill upgrading, to vaults which you get your Zeus's lightning, collecting high and out of reach areas for ambrosia for health upgrades, harvesting ingredients for potions, song puzzles, and hidden treasures to collect new armor pieces and skins. So if you're a completionist, you'll have a lot of work to do here. There is a microtransaction shop in the game. It isn't pay to win. You can just buy different armor and different weapon skins. They have put in a heroic task board where you can actually do daily random quests for the board to earn a small amount of currency to buy some of the skins without spending money. The theme of this game is humour. Almost everything is a light joke. I was a little turned off at first from this, but it did grow on me over time. Especially disliked Zeus at first. I didn't feel like the voice matched the almighty thunder god at all. There's quite a few sexual jokes from the gods also, mostly from Aphrodite obviously. I personally disliked Aphrodite the most out of the 4 gods you can actually rescue. Once I finished her quest and moved on to the next god, I really started to enjoy the game a lot more. The other gods are a lot more impactful and interesting to me. The world is breathtaking, it's so colourful, and I actually stopped a lot of places just in awe to have a look at it. It's great, especially after scouting a new area. The lighting really did it for me in this game. The light shining bright through the shadows in the Hall of the Gods to the architecture pillars, it's just amazing. I love the art style of the game too. The characters look very Disney, kind of Pixar inspired to me. As an artist, I really like the models. It really does fit the bright, colourful world.
You'd have to be better than Heracles, Odysseus, Atalanta, and Achilles. I've never heard of such a thing. My bar is tremendously high.
What happens if I surpass it?
But one big issue I had with the character models is the option of the facial hairs you can actually pick during your character creation. It looks like it's just not stuck on the face properly, and it really makes the character look kind of comical and unnatural to me. The animations are really fluid and over exaggerated, which fits the art style perfectly. I'm actually surprised with how many different animations there are for opening chests to your Phoenix interacting with you, even just making potions and upgrading your different skills and health. Another issue I had was with the mouth movements. It didn't always kind of match the character what they were saying, and it felt a little off at times. It's not a huge issue, but this is a AAA title. I would have thought by now that the off-mouth movements wouldn't be a thing anymore. I really love the overall story to the game, especially the message behind the story, that even though we have flaws and unlikable traits, it's what shapes us and makes us an individual, and we need to love ourselves for our flaws. Never let someone tell you that you can't do something if you put your mind to it. The combat is fast paced and really hectic. I completed this game on hard difficulty, and I recommend that you play on this setting. Normal just felt a little bit too easy compared to it. You get stronger and stronger through the stories, so it gets a lot easier, to the point of you just melting enemies without any danger of dying near the end of the game. I finished the game in 35 hours and finished about 75% of the optional world objectives scattered around. I really think Ubisoft should get some credit here for trying something new. They took a risk, and I think it's a great game. There are some frustrating moments and some tedious puzzles, but overall the game is fun. All the zones are unique to each god too, which is great, so it doesn't feel same old, same old. If you go into this game knowing it's going to be a comedy heavy story and doesn't take itself seriously the majority of the time, I think you'll enjoy it a lot. I really hope you enjoyed the review. It'd be great if you could leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll happily help you out. Take care.